Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Krishna Shiva Creations. In this series of illuminating text, I will guide you through the complete process of measurement system analysis. Till now, we have completed the first phase, that is MSA definition. From the last video, we started the second phase, that is MSA parameters. If you have not watched the video, links are given below in the description. Please have a look. In this video, we will complete the second phase, that is MSA parameters. So, as we discussed, there are 9 parameters in MSA. Let's revise. Among these 9, till now we have covered the first 4, that is till resolution. In this video, I will cover up to reproducibility, and after that we have some interesting slide to correlate all the parameters that we have understood. So keep watching. So, what is bias? Bias is the difference between the average of all the measurements, readings or the collected data and the reference value. Okay, then what is error? Error is the difference between each reading and the true value. Okay? So, bias is the process to estimate the inclination of the instrument during measurement, either positive or negative. So, it is the property of the instrument as we discussed earlier also, and 10% of it is acceptable. Basically, we do bias study for in-house design gauges rather than the standard gauges like vernier and micrometer that we are using. Now there is a pictorial representation. Here, this green line is the reference value, okay, and this red curve shows the normal distribution of the readings that we have collected, and this dotted line is the mean of the collected data. It is also known as X bar. Now the difference between these two lines, the mean X bar and reference value, is bias. Okay. Now bias is given by the formula X bar and X reference difference of X bar and X reference, where X bar is the reading collected by the instrument that is a regular instrument of which we are doing the study, and X reference is the reading collected using the master instrument. Now, linearity and stability both are the derivative of bias on different reference frame. Linearity is the change of bias over normal operating range. Now, what is operating range? Operating range of any instrument is the scale of the instrument. If you have a vernier of 150 mm, then the operating range is 0 to 150. We will understand with a pictorial representation. Here at 150 mm, we have calculated the bias and it is observed to be bias 1. Okay. Now at higher operating rate, suppose at 200 mm, we observe that the bias is bias 2. Now it clearly indicates there is a change in bias while changing the operating range from bias 1 to bias 2, where bias 2 is greater than bias 1. So this is linearity. Now we'll understand some graphical representation wherein this dotted line is a zero bias line, and we see the solid line which is the constant bias, means it is directly proportional to the operating range. It is in a straight line, and when the bias changes, this is known as linearity, the non-constant bias. In this we see with respect to the x-axis, that is the operating range, the bias is non-linear, the non-constant rather. So this is the non-constant bias. Now in this case, this is the constant bias, wherein the bias is not changing with the respect to the operating range. Now in this case, see the curves are, there are curvilinear graphs and rectilinear graphs. This is the positive bias and the negative bias on either side of the zero bias line, which we mentioned earlier also. So to achieve constant bias, the measurement of an instrument should be directly proportional to the operating range of the instrument. And zero bias is the most desired state. This zero bias, where there is no change of bias in the system. Next is the stability. The stability, as I already mentioned, it is another derivative of bias on a reference frame of time factor. On time period, So what is by definition is change in bias over time. Now we will again see on a pictorial representation. On day 1 we have gathered some data and we calculated bias as bias 1. Now on day 2 let's see what happens. Okay, so we have seen that the bias has changed from bias 1 to bias 2. It has reduced from bias 1 to bias 2. Now on the third day we again take some measurement and we calculate the bias and we observe that the bias has again increased to bias 3. So this change in the bias over a time period, we have to remember that doing all this study we are using the same instrument, reading is taken by the same appraiser or inspector, and we are measuring the same parameter on the same part. Keeping all these things constant, we do the measurement on different time frame and plot the graph or calculate the bias, and we observe this is the conclusion that bias 3 is greater than bias 1, greater than bias 2. So this is one example. So this change in bias over time period is stability. It is also called as drift. It is another name, and basically it is used to determine the calibration frequency of the instrument that we are calibrating. It is the measure of accuracy of the instrument, okay, because the bias, linearity, stability, all are the measure of accuracy of instrument, all are the properties of instrument, and they measure accuracy because we are using the true value or the reference value as the reference. So these are all referred to as accuracy of the instrument. Now let's come to a new topic, that is repeatability. Now, as the name suggests, it is repeatability, means the ability of the instrument to repeat its reading over and over again. When we are using the instrument and measuring a part, a parameter of a part, the ability of that instrument to repeat its reading is called repeatability. So by definition, if we go, it is the variation observed with one measuring instrument when used several times by an appraiser or inspector while measuring a particular parameter on the same part. Okay, so this is repeatability. It is the variation due to instrument or gauge. It is a property of the instrument. Okay, and it is also known as equipment variation in MSA terms, the EV. It is the equipment variation, and it measures the precision of the instrument. As we have seen earlier, repeatability and reproducibility both are measuring precision. Repeatability is for the instrument and reproducibility is for the appraiser. We'll come to that in the coming slide. Now we understand the repeatability using a dartboard, wherein we see all the darts are scattered around. They are not close to each other, neither they are within the tolerance band. So though this is a case where repeatability is very poor, it indicates a poor repeatability, wherein after standardizing the instrument or changing instrument into the new instrument, we achieve all the readings very close to each other and within the tolerance band, and thus this instrument is able to repeat its reading better than the case 1, so it is a better repeatability. So repeatability is the equipment variation with one appraiser, one equipment, same parameter on same part and several times. Now comes reproducibility. So reproducibility is the ability of the appraiser to reproduce its reading again and again using the same equipment and in checking the same parameter. Okay, so this is by definition, and it is an appraiser variation. It is also known as appraiser variation, AV, and it is a measure of precision of appraiser, as I mentioned earlier. Now we again see this using a dartboard. There are 3 appraisers who have collected few readings. We will plot that in a dartboard chart, wherein we see all the readings of the appraisers are very much scattered. They are very much far away from each other. So this reflects a poor reproducibility. The consistency of the operators between operators, okay, consistency of different operators or inspectors to take the reading. wherein after standardization of the process, after proper training to all the inspectors, we achieve this case wherein the readings of all the appraisers or the inspectors comes very close to each other. So this is a better reproducibility. So reproducibility is appraiser variation, wherein there are different appraisers with the same equipment they are using, taking the same parameter on the same part, and they are taking several tracks. So with this, we complete all the 9 parameters of MSA. We have understood the MSA parameters. Now in this slide, as I have mentioned earlier, that there are relationships of all the parameters we will understand in this slide. So first of all, there are types of error. The first, there is a systematic error, which means a systematic change of magnitude and sign of the readings in case of repeated readings. There is a systematic change. And the second is a random error, wherein the magnitude and sign of the error changes in a random manner. So these two accumulates to total error. So total error, there are two parts, that is systematic error and there is random error. Now, how do we calculate error? Error we calculate using the true value. Now, true value can never be ascertained, can never be identified, as we have understood in the uncertainty. So, error can also not be identified exactly. So, for this, we have different parameters which estimates the error. We work upon the estimation of the error. So each error has some estimation value, which are known as the performance characteristics. For systematic error, the trueness is estimate of systematic error, and for random error, precision. All the different types of precision estimates the random error. Now trueness and precision embraces the accuracy. Accuracy, which in again the estimate of total error. Now all these performance characteristics can be expressed quantitatively. So there are parameters which can express quantitatively all the performance characteristics. Like for trueness, it is bias. Bias is the quantitative expression of trueness. And for precision, standard deviation. Standard deviation is the quantitative expression of precision. Now bias and standardization gives us measurement uncertainty. Measurement uncertainty is the quantitative expression of accuracy. Now in this complete chart, we understand all the different parameters that we have understood in the parameters of MSA, how they are linked upon. So in this side, we will again see the interrelationships of all the parameters in a pictorial manner that we have understood in the last slide. There is a dartboard wherein we see all the readings are outside, they are scattered, the precision is low, there is very poor accuracy. So from here we see the error, the difference of each reading from the target value. This is the error. From this case, when we improve the precision, we achieve this case wherein all the readings have come very close to each other. Precision is good, though it is outside the tolerance band. We see the bias here, where it is the average of the readings and the target mean. The difference between is known as bias. From this, we improve the trueness. After improving the trueness, we achieve this case wherein the readings have come within the tolerance band. So with this, we also achieve the accuracy also. Accuracy is improved. As we have seen in the last slide, accuracy is embraced by trueness and precision. Now with the increase in precision, we can reduce the random error and standard deviation, or vice versa. By reduction of random error and standard deviation, we can improve precision. Similarly for trueness, we can achieve better trueness by reduction of systematic error and bias. And for accuracy, we can achieve better accuracy when we can reduce the total error and measurement uncertainty. So this case where it is the poor repeatability and reproducibility, R and R, and this is a better repeatability and reproducibility. That's all for this video. We have completed the MSA parameters. We have understood what are the parameters, and I'll be coming up with the third phase of MSA tools and techniques. If you have any queries, please mention in the comment section below. I do reply on the comments. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have liked the video, please hit the like button. That makes a difference. And what makes more difference is when you hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Also hit the notification bell to get notified for my upcoming videos on the coming phases. Till then, keep smiling and take care.